Hi, everyone. My name is Kirsten Frumpkin, and I sit on Nextpoint's client success team, meaning that I am kind of the quarterback or account rep for all of our subscription clients who come to Nextpoint and use Nextpoint for all things eDiscovery. I also have with me on the call Olivia Attanasio from JMD Law to chat a little bit about her experience with Nextpoint, as well as trying out some new features that we have in beta. So hi, Olivia, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of
So
course.
just to give everyone listening like a little bit of context, can you tell us maybe just really high level why the firm decided to come to Nextpoint?
Yeah, so I think our initial team that kind of does the e-discovery and stuff was looking for a new program. The program that we have now is not the most user friendly and does not have the most timely customer feedback or support team, and we kind of need that, especially in some of our divisions. Our civil litigation does high volume document productions or complex cases, and we need somebody to be able to respond and get back to us relatively quickly, and that can process very large amounts of documents at one time. And I think that's kind of why we made the switch, as well as for customer service. I know that when I have started working with Nextpoint, I will send you guys an email, and then like 5 minutes later, someone responds, which is unheard of with our past software. So it's been quite a nice change.
That's great to hear. Yeah, there's a lot of things that come into mind when you're making a decision about what provider to move forward with, but it's not just one thing. It's not just the software, not just the functionality, it's the people as well. So it's nice to hear that you guys feel supported as you've been onboarding and using Nextpoint. It's great. Another question I have for you is that I know recently we were able to work together because you had some audio and video files that you wanted to test what we call transcription on. So transcription, not to be confused with transcripts, but transcription kind of in the industry is the ability for a software to be able to transcribe audio or video files and then create like a text file. So if you're just having to listen as like a reviewer or someone on a case team to long audio or video files, it's nice to have that text file that you can actually search on and look through. So I know that transcription is currently in beta, but if you wanted to share a little bit about your experience testing it out on some of your files and maybe even why it would be useful for someone that has a practice area like yours, that would be great to hear.
Yeah, so I do a lot of I'm a civil litigation paralegal, so we cover a gambit of cases. And in particular, we had one case recently where a client had a number of audio recordings, and they were anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, and they were a level of different frequencies and distractions and background noise and things. I think one recording, she had her phone in her pocket, another, the TV's turned on in the background, or she's talking to her dog. So there's like a lot of background noise, but we needed those audio for a deposition. And me being the paralegal, I had to sit and listen to the 30-second audio and then had to transcribe those. And so being able to put those in a program that was able to transcribe the majority of it, of course, you have to go back and kind of finesse it and listen to the nuances, but the overall arching text and conversation, it was really nice to be able to upload that and then turn around and say, well, here's, 4 paragraphs worth of dialogue, which was pretty much almost verbatim in every recording that I uploaded. And I uploaded 18 recordings. And so it
Wow.
was really helpful. Kind of like, I think previously before I did that, I had to use Word's transcribe
Yeah.
feature, which, is somewhat useful, but it's able to do this. You can upload them all at once, and then you turn around and you can download those and have them at your fingertips. And we have a number of cases where people record, conversations or things like that, or have different audio that we need to record. And so it's been very helpful to have that because it saves us a number of time, but also the accuracy with which it transcribed those.
That's great to hear. I'm excited to be able to roll that out to all Nextpoint users, and it's great to hear your use of it. I know previously when we had chatted, you gave like a number of how many hours you thought that it had saved you. Do you remember what you had said on that?
Yeah, it saved me about 3 hours because I'd hate to say it, but I brought the recordings home and would play them on an iPad to my Word so that Word would transcribe
Right.
them. But before I realized I could do that, I was, had headphones and I was trying to do it and trying to get the nuances, because in some of them the TV gets turned on or they're driving and you only catch half the conversation, and so having to stop and play and stop and play. With this, it just uploaded and I can go in and kind of create my own little transcript, and it saved me a good 3 hours probably of my time.
Well, totally. I mean, we know how busy you are, so I'm glad to hear that it was a time saver for you, which is awesome. That is the name of the game, and so it's great to hear your feedback on that. Anything else you would kind of share about your experience with NextPoint so far to anyone listening?
I was in the process of doing that, and I
Mhm.
thought, well, Nextpoint is seems to have so many other features, so I'll ask Nextpoint. And I had probably a response within 30 minutes that says, "We're actually, this is in beta. We'd love to test it out if you would send them to us." And I did, and then I think over a weekend, I got the transcripts back. So even then, I imagine between like a Tuesday, Wednesday turnaround versus a Friday, Monday turnaround, it would be the exact same. It took no time at all, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
And so the ease at which, we jumped on a call and they said, "Hey, what do you need? What can we do for you?" And they did exactly what I asked and what I needed, which is with our previous provider was kind of unheard of.
Yeah, yeah, totally. It's nice to be able to rely on real life people that you've met and that you work with so that you can do your job efficiently and not be waiting on response times, which can be really disconcerting with the pace that you guys work. So it's nice
Yeah,
to hear that that was your experience. Well, very good stuff. Well, thank you so much for your time and thanks for chatting with us a little bit.
of course. Thank you.